Ultimately, good leadership comes down to three main questions that every leader needs to ask and answer about themselves. What do you want? What are you afraid of? And what are you actually good at? It is tempting to begin talking about leadership starting with the position that you hold or the responsibility you have within the context of your organization. This is mainly due to the simple fact that where you are in the org chart is the most visible aspect of your leadership. And depending upon the culture of your organization, your value as an employee and even as a human may also be largely determined by how far up or down you are in that hierarchy. But if we're really honest, the reality is that you were not put in your position because of your leadership. Rather, you were put there in hopes that you would become the right leader for this organization for this time. The truth is that virtually everyone achieves their positions within their organizations through the evaluation of secondary elements, such as your education and degrees, the people that you know, the connections that you have, or your reputation. And while your experience is also considered, as are your references, organizations put people in positions with the good faith and trust that things will work out. But there is always a level of uncertainty in every hire. This is why we all feel that everyone within our organization, including ourselves, are being evaluated by every other person in the organization, not just the supervisors. Have you ever gossiped about the people in your organization, both positive and negative sharing of observations or opinions that you have about someone's decision or behavior? Ever talked about your boss or supervisor to coworkers or friends? Ever heard of a performance review? Ever read a journalistic report on a business that you know? If you sign up for any endeavor, any pursuit, or any leadership responsibility, you are signing up for a lifetime of scrutiny. Everyone in every position is constantly being evaluated as to whether or not they're actually going to be the kind of leader the organization needs them to be. So while leadership may be the default fact of your position, good leadership has nothing to do with the position that you hold in the organization. Let me say that again. Good leadership has nothing to do with the position that you hold in the organization. Good leadership has everything to do with how you hold the position that has been entrusted to you. And how you hold the position is largely determined by what you really want, what you're afraid of, and what you're actually good at. In light of this truth, good leaders submit to this reality and not only accept that we are constantly being critically analyzed by others, but takes on the discipline of self-analysis and self-critical questioning. What do I want? What am I afraid of? What am I actually good at? Good leadership embraces these questions and deploys them consistently and responsibly throughout one's life of leading. Now, asking and addressing these questions has two main effects. First, it develops the critically important skill of introspection. Throughout your life, you will lead several different categories of people. For example, you will lead your subordinates because you are their supervisor or manager. At times, you will lead your peers, working on a project together or managing a crisis together. There are even moments when you will lead your leader, providing feedback and even advice. This dynamic is known as 360-degree leadership. But consistently, the most difficult and challenging person you will ever lead is yourself. And introspection, the ability to look at and examine what is going on inside of you, is the most critical skill and discipline you need to be the best leader you can be. So, questioning your wants, fears, and skills is a crucially important exercise in introspection. But the second effect of asking and addressing these questions is that it will increase the respect you have for yourself and the respect and trust your colleagues and constituents have for you. Asking and addressing these questions will grow your self-esteem, embolden your self-confidence, and will exemplify a quality of humility to those around you. And that example will foster trust, the bedrock of any healthy organization. Questioning your wants, fears, and skills demonstrates your modesty. And not only does it show that you accept scrutiny, you see it as a valuable asset to bettering yourself and the whole of the organization. As such, you will model for your people this kind of introspection and will set the foundation for developing amazing leaders under your care. And that is an incredible skill and gift that has tremendous benefits to your organization. Ultimately, good leadership comes down to three main questions. What do you want? What are you afraid of? And what are you actually good at? In the next lesson, we'll go through each of these three questions to show how to ask these questions in a way that will help guide our thinking and change our behavior.